and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you another baking basic, how to make perfect white buttercream. So let's get started. I'm going to be making a butter and icing sugar buttercream, which a lot of people would call an American buttercream, but I'm going to be showing you tips and tricks to how I get it white. So I'm going to start with 250 grams of butter, which is at room temperature. And I always use salted in my buttercream, but you can use unsalted if you want. I'm going to mix this on high, probably for about 10 minutes, until it's really light in colour and fluffy. And in between, I'm going to just be scraping down the bowl. So you can see how much lighter and fluffier my butter is here, and you can whip it for even longer if you want to. You can kind of whip it for as long as you like, but the lighter and the fluffier the better. For my buttercream, my American style buttercream, I always use a ratio of 1 to 2, 1 butter to 2 lots of icing sugar. So 250 grams of butter to 500 grams of icing sugar, and obviously you can double, treble, quadruple that if you need to, and you can even make less of it. So 50 grams of butter, 100 grams of butter. So 50 grams of butter and 100 grams of icing sugar if you don't want to make a lot of buttercream. So I'm just going to add in this buttercream now. It's about half I'm going to be adding, and that's sifted buttercream. And I always use silver spoon. I find that's the best icing sugar. So I'm going to mix this on the lowest speed now. So that's incorporated. So I'm just going to add the rest now. And on low again. Switch this off. So I've got our buttercream made now, but it is quite stiff. I don't know if you can see that. So that would be difficult to pipe with or to smooth onto a cake. So I'm going to add a little bit of cooled boiled water. I'm not going to flavour this buttercream today, but if you did want to flavour it, you could flavour it with fruit juices, so lemon or orange. You could use a little bit of alcohol, you can use melted chocolate, you can use salted caramel, all sorts of things to flavour your buttercream. And in that case, you would want to add that first before you add a little bit of cold boiled water, if in fact you need to at all, because that will slacken it off for you. So I'm just going to add in about 2 spoons, maybe about 1.5 spoons. And I'm going to give that a little mix again. And just check it. So it's getting a little bit softer, but it's still a little bit firm. So I'm just going to add just a little bit more. And then that'll probably be enough. You can see how light that is now. So we're looking for this to be the texture of melted butter, especially if you want to smooth it onto a cake, because if your buttercream's too hard, it will just drag the cake with it. For piping, you can have it a little bit firmer. I'm just going to get this out. This feels like a nice consistency now. And then if you were getting this ready to ice onto a cake, it's a good idea to give it a really good paddle back and forth with your spoon or a spatula like this. And what that will do, if you do that for 5 minutes, it'll take out all the air bubbles. So when you put it on your cake and you're smoothing it around, you should have less little pockets of air in the buttercream. So if you're piping it though, this would be perfect, all ready to be coloured or just go on as it is. Now that you've made your beautiful buttercream as well, it will keep at room temperature for a couple of days, but you're probably better off to refrigerate it and then bring it back up to room temperature before you want to use it. Ideally, using it fresh will probably give you the best results. If you're like me and you make far too much, you can always freeze it. Well, there we have it. Perfect buttercream every time. I really hope you enjoyed the video and you give the recipe a go. If you did like the video, hit the big thumbs up button, and if you want to see any more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. And if there are any other baking basics that you want me to film for you, leave me a comment down below. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.